All right, so welcome to Fall 2015, week 7. So we've got another 7 weeks of development until we're all done. So we're about, we're a little bit more than a third of the way through, and we're making really great progress. You guys should be really, really happy about it. All right, so today we're going to be talking about our speakers coming in, Dave Oshry, some game stuff going on and off CSULB campus. Updates on logo t-shirt stuff, talking about Indiecade, and voting on VP of Administration. So when it comes to like the end of it, unfortunately, you guys just need to pull out some scraps of paper. I was not legit enough to print off ballots today. All right, so we have a speaker coming in today. We've got Dave Oshry coming in. He is the co-founder or founder and co-owner of New Blood Interactive. He was also a writer for various kind of online game magazines, papers, what do you call them?
Your websites.
Blogs. But yeah, he wrote most of those, including Kotaku and PC Gamer. He was also the VP of Business Development at a optics company that kind of specialized in dealing with solving optical problems that are that kind of came about because we are looking at screens so goddamn much. He recently left Gunner Optics to run his indie studio full time. He's going to be talking to us today about getting into the game industry. So that's something that I feel like a lot of us want to do. So it's going to be a really interesting talk. There's some really cool games that's going on at Cal State Long Beach. I've kind of touched on this before. We've always felt that it's always really beneficial when we do things that kind of make the game community and the game development community at Cal State Long Beach better. Even if it doesn't directly affect us, the idea is that the more that Cal State Long Beach is aware of games as kind of legitimate art form of entertainment as well, that will legitimize our cause as well. So here's some cool things that are going on. Our academic advisor, Adam Moore, has secured a $10,000 research grant into the study of agile game development, or agile, sorry, I wrote game development, that's not actually correct. It's agile, like production methodology. As you guys probably know by now, agile is the kind of production methodology that we've adopted. We are one of the first groups to adopt it on campus, and so he's going to be, or part of this grant is going to be used to actually study VGDA and how well we work. In addition, some of those funds might be set aside to help out our membership, but that's still very much up in the air, so we'll get more details to you when we know more about that. Also, some of you might know that there have been some anthropology students coming by our meetings for the last month, actually, and they're working on a project to better understand what game culture is, and they are studying VGDA as kind of a facet of game culture at Cal State Long Beach, which is really, really cool because you have people who heard about us and they decided to come by, figure out what we've got going on, and they've decided that we are important enough that they should focus on us as a part of their studies. So that's really cool. Yeah. Also, esports is putting on an awesome charity event called Fight for a Cause. They've been doing these really cool like charity gaming events. Well, they started that last semester. They've been doing these really cool, really successful, a lot of fun charity gaming events going on. And it's the link to it is right there, and of course the PowerPoint's been posted on our Facebook page. But really anything game related that raises money for charity is awesome. And the funds are going to be going to, or the proceeds are going to be going to the Children's Hospital of Orange County. Children's Hospital of Orange County has had long ties with the various game groups on Cal State Long Beach. We did a kind of similar event about a year ago. That's where our proceeds went. So they're a really good organization. They really do a lot for their community, and that's why it'd be really awesome we can go out and support them. The only wrinkle is that this event also takes place during Indiecade, which is a really great networking opportunity. But for those of you guys who don't want to drive out to Culver City, or maybe don't necessarily have the money to do that, we are going to be having a booth at Fight for a Cause, where we're going to be showing off our game from last semester to this semester, and we're going to be we encourage everyone who can make it to go, because it's a really good cause. We'll be there, we'll be representing VGDA, and also everything that builds the gaming community on campus is ultimately going to be good for us as well. Off-campus stuff, there'll be more of that later. There'll be more off-campus stuff in the next slide, but one thing that happened today that was really cool is I just got contacted by some master's students at Cal State in Memphis Hills who are also doing an anthropological study of game culture. And they heard about us, I'm not sure how, but apparently we're getting famous enough so that other Cal States are hearing about us. And they're going to be kind of coming to us and talking with us about what it means to, what game culture really means and that kind of issue, which is a really big issue because it's something that our industry's really been struggling with over the last, ever since its inception. And that's a conversation for another time, but it is something that we'll be getting into in the future. Some more stuff that's going on off campus. We have IndieK, which is next weekend. We'll be talking extensively about that in a few minutes, or in a minute. But we also have this group called Long Beach Virtual Reality. They're run by Chris Kane, who's a teacher on campus who's been super supportive of VGDA in the past. And they're basically a cool group of people who are pioneering design and technology in virtual reality stuff. They have a cool event going on soon. I just got an email, so I didn't actually get time to check out everything, but they check out all the details. But they're going to be kind of showing off some demos, showing and doing some workshops to people who want to learn a little bit more about the technology. They're also having a meetup next weekend. I know everything is happening next weekend. I don't know what's up with that. Everything's happening next weekend. And if you're interested in maybe being a part of LBVR, which is a great place to network, the VR groups in the area are really good places to network. And meeting a lot of like-minded people who are interested in pioneering game design. So there are links to both of those things in this PowerPoint. So if you want more information, just follow those. So we decided to postpone voting on logos and t-shirts for another week. I'm really sorry about that, folks. I know we said we would finalize that this week, but we've got a few that are like almost so beautifully amazing that we felt that it would be kind of a shame if we, I mean, not that they're not great, but we saw some like amazing potential in those, and we wanted to give everyone another week to really refine everything so that it really represents VGDA in a way that we want to be represented. So next week, I promise. Yeah. All right. So IndieK. Networking is super important. It's really scary, but it's super important. It's also very effective to do in this particular industry because one of the annoying things about the game industry is that we're still so new that there aren't like set avenues in which to get into the game industry. So networking is a way that you kind of make things easier for yourself to transition from one job into a job in the game industry, or just from college into the game industry. Super important. Really will help you a lot. And IndieK is an event that aims to bring people together who want to kind of improve game design, games and game development. They've been putting on this event since 2005, and they bring together large groups of individuals to kind of network, meet each other, and exchange ideas and stuff like that. Crystal, our VP of Operations, is working to organize carpools and Groupon rates for IndieK. So if you're interested in going, email her at programs.vgda@gmail.com, because we really want to make it so that it's as easy for everyone in our organization to get to these things as possible. So if you want to go, maybe you don't want to go alone, you don't want to pay for gas, or you don't want to pay for all of gas, stuff like that, we really want to help you out there. So we're trying to get carpools and stuff like that together so that everyone can get as much out of it as possible. And the other thing about networking that's really cool about, like one of the reasons that VGDA is really cool as being a big organization, being a big organization, is that the more people in this organization that go out and network and say they're part of VGDA, the more value being in VGDA will have. The more well-known we become, the more impact our name will be. That's just how it works. So if you go out and you do networking for yourself, and you also mention that you are in VGDA, you're not just networking for yourself, you're also networking for every single person in VGDA. So I encourage everyone to go out and do that, because if you help yourself, you help everyone else too. We're also super excited to have a couple of candidates for the VP of Administration. We have Saeed and Amy who are going to be running for us today. Just to recap what the role does. Yeah, I like that, raising the factors. All right, right, so this position's role is going to be to help everyone on the administration side of VGDA. So they'll help the president make sure that everything is done as smoothly as possible by working with the team leads, or sorry, by working with the other executives and making sure we all achieve our goals. They'll help with marketing, but this will be helping with everything that's going on the administration side of things. Won't be focusing too much on the development side, mostly the administration. So we'll be hearing from our two candidates in a little bit, and they'll give a short, like 2.5 minute speech, and then we'll vote on them. So before we do that, does anyone have any questions, anything like that? Comments? Feedback? Excellent. Yeah, we'll do that later. Yeah, we'll do that later. All right, cool. So you can, Amy, who wants to go first?
Well, I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
So we have VP and we have the web design.
Yeah.
Possible I could just do web design?
Yeah.
So
I like it. I like how non-competitive people are in this organization. Alrighty, y'all. So if you could give Amy silence, that'd be great.
Hello, my name is Amy, and I'm running for that. Okay, so I've worked in general digital clubs, so not specifically video games, more like web design, app design. So I kind of know how these things work. But since our club was not very, did not have a lot of member participation, I am really interested in learning more about this, and I'm really interested in the game community as a whole. So I hope to learn a lot more by running for this position.
All right, thank you. All right. So by a show of hands. I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Yay?
Yeah.
Congratulations! All right. Cool. There we go. Imagine if politics actually were to, oh, you guys want that? Okay, well, all right, so now we'll be hearing from our team leads. Lots of really cool stuff to show you guys today. Super excited. Okay, so you wanna let's save the bill for last.
That's what I figured. Well,
Okay.
Katrina and I are doing it together since a lot of her
Excellent. All right, cool.
is in.
So Andrew, you wanna take us away with sound? And we have roughs now for animations. So A-Rough. Considering how much they've done and how little they've given them, I feel like they can occupy themselves for like 8 weeks.
Actually, we have some frames too. I guess that would give you time.
Alright. Alright, so I'm just using the Slides app. Don't recommend it. Yep, really short, 3 slides. So what we've been doing is that we've been continuing to build up the sound library. It's been an ongoing project. We've been developing the music side of it too, so it's not just sound effects, but we're doing stuff with the score. And we've created placeholder sound effects we were supposed to send to technical, but the sound levels came out wonky, so I'll be fixing that really soon. And drum roll, please.
Round of applause for that. That was inspired. All right. Emily?
That's so great.
You know, if I can repeat with that.
Such great.
No.
I know, it's very simple.
The new room. Pretty much.
I don't know if I can compete with that, but this is the content we're doing a lot. So after last week's kind of executive mandate, we've sorted monsters out. So we have the 5 types monster variants onto these ones. We spoke at the executive meeting that however many variations on these archetypes that that Art decides to do, we can change the gameplay slightly. So like speeding up certain variables, maybe it's easier to avoid or it's harder to avoid or it moves faster, that kind of thing. So all of these docs are written. They're not up on Trello because the Wi-Fi in campus sucks, but they should be at some point tonight. As far as names, we're getting closer. We're kind of narrowing it down. We're thinking we want something kind of psychological sounding because it's less of like an actual like scary monster horror game and more like a kind of psychological horror game. So we're getting closer. We'll have one soon. But most of what we did this week was room design. So we have kind of 4 archetypes of rooms. We have monster rooms, which are obvious. They're rooms that have monsters. We have quiet rooms, which are rooms that don't have monsters. Hallucination rooms, which are rooms that don't have monsters but are in some other way like kind of weird and freaky. Then we have stair rooms, which are rooms that don't have monsters but they have the stairs that take you up to the next level. We spoke about this at length and we decided that we want rooms that don't have monsters because it kind of lets you build the suspense and stuff, and if there's just monsters everywhere, you kind of become desensitized, it becomes an action game instead of a horror game, and that's not really what we want. So we started coming up with lots. So the way we're approaching items is each room that we design besides the stair room is going to have, besides the stair rooms are going to have a spot for an item, and then when the house is procedurally generated, it's going to randomly place 5 items in the house so that whenever you play it, it's different. You have to explore every time to get these items. So we came up with a lot of puzzles for monster rooms. These are some of the ones that Aaron Taylor posted, but we have a lot more on paper that we need to just put in paint. I know this all looks like gibberish to you at this point, but these ones are hiding spots. These are all, the red ones are all certain types of monsters. The stars are items, so you can kind of see we're playing with our different archetypes and seeing how that kind of challenges the player, where we put spots, that kind of thing, or hiding spots, where we put the items, and like we're kind of building puzzles around it. So every room will have to have every room that we design will have to have a hiding spot, even the blank ones, because we came up with this cool thing called the Hunter. So technical already made this because of a misunderstanding earlier, or just because they wanted to, because they do that sometimes. We're super legit this time. But
Pretty.
so for our narrative, we have this darkness that kind of encloses you in every room. That's kind of like your, I don't know, background grief and your fear and everything, kind of making things harder for you. But we figured with this one, we could kind of make it like more of a like directly violent form of your fear and your anxiety and grief. So before we had made it, we had kind of wanted to leave it ambiguous about what happened to your brother that made you kind of fucked up to the point where you're having all these recurring dreams. I figured if we killed him, we could do something really cool with this. So right now,
Nothing.
right now our narrative is that for some reason your brother killed himself by jumping in front of a train. And so that moment of your brother's death is going to be what the Hunter is. So yeah, specific fear of the thing that killed your brother. So what it's going to do is, when you're in the basement's all dark, that's where you start all your levels. You're just in there, and then you see 2 like bright, flashy headlight style lights in the basement, and that drives you out. And that's what makes you start the level. And then from there, it'll have like a random chance to spawn on each floor. And we don't quite know how we're going to balance that yet, but that's later along the line. So it'll spawn on the floor, it'll kind of roam through slowly. If it goes in your room, it will make this horrible, huge, terrifying, disturbing sound. And that's when you will know that you have to fucking hide or this thing will kill you.
Like how loud?
I mean, probably not like eardrum breaking loud, but it's going to be scary. It's going to be sudden. It's going to be
Like an amnesia, the broad sound.
yeah, something similar to that. And we'll balance with that. But so this picture is, as some of you know, over the garden wall. This is the beast. And we kind of like those kind of like the headlamp style eyes. Just if your brother killed himself jumping in front of a train, trains are going to be kind of unnerving. So we're thinking like crazy distorted train whistle and like kind of crunching bones and that kind of thing for it. So we think it adds another wild card to our game. It throws stuff off. It makes it scarier, and I think we're all pretty excited for the idea of this. So what are we doing this week? We are continuing with room design. We have about like 15 different rooms made up. We'd like to do like 25. Well, we have at least 15 different monster rooms. We'd like maybe more, closer to like 25 that tech can kind of pepper the rooms with. We're going to start making an environment asset list. We said that for the past like 2 weeks. Having this time, we don't have actual room design to do. That's just going through and like, okay, we need a couch, we need a table, that kind of thing. We're going to actually start thinking seriously about items because we've kind of gotten a lot of our other stuff out of the way. We're going to start playtesting because tech has a playtest book. And that's it. Questions?
So this monster is a final boss in this game.
Not really a final boss, just kind of a random boss. Our game's not so linear as to have a final boss, but it is I guess you could
It's the
consider
first
a boss.
final boss concept.
Kind of. But you can't keep it. What's that?
For all the other teams, me and Nikki will have one rocking up like tonight.
Yeah, I saw you had that.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That was not a sign that you went above and beyond. All right.
All right, cool. So Katrina and Josh have a build of the game to show you. It's got some art assets in it now. So cool. Was it the ESG?
Yes. Alright, so we have a build. It's playable. Everybody shut up. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so we have a build, it's playable, and it has quite a few art assets in it, because our team went really overboard, which is awesome. So, first off, I just want to show you guys this because I love the fact that that is our level right there. So when you hit play, that's our level.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. But we'll actually play it in full screen so you can see the nice ones. So, we now have a basement, which you spawn in. There's not a lot in it, but that's okay. You have a player, you have backgrounds. Ignore that thing that's chasing me. That's actually the hunter, which is still being worked on. All right. We have all kinds of cool art. I apologize for the kind of screen tearing. We have some lag issues we need to work out. Yes, a little unsettling. Hiding spots glow, so you can actually tell where you can hide. We have some basic animation too. Let me see if I can get this guy to chase me. It's kind of terrifying, but fun. Is he not triggered?
I think he's too high.
Huh, that's weird. That is a
This is my mind test.
Yeah, they actually work, so I'm confused why that one didn't. So, one sec. Oh, there we go. Trigger. All right, so that's what happens when it triggers. All right, let's see if we can find some other stuff to show you guys.
Can we keep him sliding like that?
Yeah, and by the way, you never move this fast. This is me cheating.
You should just be on a skateboard the entire time.
I know, right?
Okay.
That's so
Not everything has been replaced. So that's the hunter right there. He's really scary, but doesn't look like much yet. Do we have anything else to show off? Yeah. Oh, and this is the door monster.
Oh, it has.
See how it kind of peeks at you? Here, wait for it to go active again.
Oh, gee. It's almost that's gonna chew on the boy.
So that's what we've got. The entire build is up on the website. We have PC, Mac, and
That's
Android.
an Android. That's an
We haven't drawn the art for it.
We're gonna start playing.
But yeah, so we're okay. I will say that in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, children die all the time, but there's no blood.
That's a bullshit. Well, it's because like it's polarized.
That was like 2000. I don't think anyone gives a shit.
People will worse that one.
Anyway, so
That's all we have.
how cool is that? All right, so Dave's going to be here around 5-ish, so we've got about a half hour to do, maybe half hour, maybe 45 minutes to do scrums and meetings and stuff like that. So I know that that's not a whole lot of time, but unfortunately, that's just what we need to do in order to take advantage of the tons of knowledge that we're going to get from Dave talking to us. Why don't you save the question until after this, after we start splitting up, and I'll answer whatever question you have, okay? All right, so yeah. Art team, does our team need the boards? What? Oh, right, leveling up. You're right. Okay.
Level up.
Is this it? No. See, I messed up, y'all. We had a lot of people level up this week, and I forgot the candy. I know. So I'm very sorry about that. I will give everyone on this list the candy that they have deserved once they're all done. But in the meantime, would like to get you guys down here so that we can appreciate you for all the hard work that you've done. So, I forgot to put last names for you guys on the sound team, but I'm guessing there are. Okay, so for the sound team, there's no last names. All right, shout out now. All right. Can we get Emily from the sound team down here? Emily, reaching the ranks of contributing developer. We also have Andrew Sudar, Daniel Jacobo, Tam Tran, and Sebastian Gutierrez coming down for contributing developer. All right. And reaching the, so we have the first wave of people reaching the rank of associate developer. So that's really awesome. We have Haley Kaczynski, Wilburn Howe. How do I know how to say that? Howe. Okay. Aaron Taylor, Joshua Chan, Elijah. I'm not gonna say that last name because Jose Prado, Peter Doria, Orion Kongmale, Jason Thames. And yeah, you do have to come down here. Yeah, you gotta stand in front of everyone. Come on, you know the drill now. Nikki Kalumna, Ashley Anthony. All right. So these people who we have our people who are leveled up from all the hard work they've done for us this week. So let's give them a big round of applause. I just want to reiterate one more time that it is the work of everyone here that has got us to this point. I mean, we have come so far so quickly. You guys should be so proud of yourselves for the work that we've done. So one round of applause to everyone, and then we'll get to work. All right. Our team, do you need the board again?
Yes.
All right. Oh, yeah. Will that work? Okay, yeah.